Right now, Drake is living through what might be the darkest chapter of his entire career. The Halloween season might have just ended, but for Drake, the nightmare is still very real. And this time, there's no beat drop or champagne bottle that could distract from it. We're talking lawsuits, appeals, and public humiliation, all closing in at once. Over the last few months, Drake's name has been dragged through courtrooms, gossip blogs, and even government filings. The same man who once stood untouchable at the top of the charts is now watching his empire slowly crumble, one legal document at a time. From a failed lawsuit against Kendrick Lamar to accusations surrounding his gambling partnerships, it feels like the walls are finally closing in. And as new states file lawsuits, one question keeps echoing across the industry. Is Drake's career too big to fail? Or are we witnessing the final unraveling of a superstar who thought he could outsmart the system? Before we go further, support me by liking this video and subscribing to this channel, because this story might go down as one of the biggest public downfalls in hip-hop history. Let's start with what's really happening right now. Drake is facing not just one, but multiple legal storms all at once. On one side, he's fighting an appeal in his defamation lawsuit that already blew up in his face. On the other, he's being called out for deceptive practices involving gambling, sponsorships, and alleged financial manipulation through the platform stake. This isn't just a rapper dealing with critics. This is an artist fighting on every front, in courtrooms, in headlines, and within his own fan base. Every new filing, every new claim chips away at the brand Drake spent over a decade building. The man who once bragged about checks over stripes is now signing checks just to keep himself afloat in court. And what's worse, the internet isn't sympathetic anymore. Fans who used to defend him are now openly clowning him. Industry insiders are calling this the karma Drake never thought would come. Now, let's talk about the lawsuit that really started his legal downfall, his defamation suit tied to the Kendrick Lamar situation. When Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, it wasn't just a diss track. It became a cultural earthquake. Drake, instead of letting the storm pass, tried to fight back legally, claiming defamation, damages, and emotional distress. But when the case reached the courtroom, it fell apart fast. Judges and lawyers dismissed most of his arguments, calling them baseless. The public watched as Drake's pride turned into spectacle. It was the first time the world saw a rapper try to sue his way out of embarrassment, and failed miserably. Instead of protecting his image, the lawsuit made things worse. It painted him as insecure, overly controlling, and desperate to silence criticism instead of facing it head-on. And when he decided to appeal the case, people realized something deeper. Drake wasn't trying to win legally. He was trying to win emotionally. Drake's legal team didn't stop there. Despite losing badly, they filed an appeal, a move that baffled everyone in the entertainment law world. The appeal process could take years to settle, meaning Drake might spend more time fighting this battle than making music. But here's the twist. The appeal isn't even about clearing his name anymore. It's about saving face. For Drake, this is no longer about legal victory. It's about refusing to admit defeat. And that mindset, that obsession with control, might be what ultimately destroys him. Because while he's busy appealing a lawsuit that most lawyers say he can't win, his empire is quietly rotting from the inside. Brand deals are slowing down, major collaborators are distancing themselves, and the media narrative has completely flipped. Drake's legal appeal is no longer seen as a defense. It's seen as denial. If this was just one lawsuit, maybe fans could brush it off. But Drake has been losing everywhere, not just in court, but culturally. He's losing credibility, influence, and most importantly, respect. The same artist who once couldn't miss is now struggling to connect. Each move he makes feels like damage control rather than dominance. He dropped music to distract from the lawsuits, but even that backfired. Critics say the songs feel rushed, hollow, and uninspired. At this point, people aren't asking what's next for Drake. They're asking, how much lower can he go? And that's a dangerous place for someone who's built his entire identity around being number one. But the courtroom drama isn't even the worst of it. The biggest threat to Drake's legacy might be something far more sinister. His relationship with the gambling platform, Stake. For years, Drake flaunted his connection to the brand. Lavish live streams, massive bets, and staged wins, all under the illusion of entertainment. But now, lawsuits are revealing the truth behind the curtain. Several states are accusing Stake of deceptive practices and illegal operations, and Drake's name is right there in the center. Investigations claim he knowingly promoted gambling to underage fans, misled viewers about payouts, and profited from a system designed to exploit addiction. And if that turns out to be true, the consequences could be massive. Because this isn't about losing a rap beef anymore. This is about potentially losing everything. Things got even more serious when Missouri and New Mexico both filed separate lawsuits involving Stake's operations, directly naming Drake as a key figure in the platform's marketing. In other words, the U.S. government is officially coming for him. These states are accusing Drake of being part of a deceptive enterprise, one that manipulated fans and used celebrity influence to promote illegal gambling. The lawsuits don't just threaten financial penalties. They threaten criminal exposure. And while Drake's lawyers are trying to spin the narrative as just business, insiders say the evidence is stacking up fast. If these cases move forward, they could permanently stain Drake's reputation in the business world. No corporation wants to attach their name to an artist under federal investigation. The contrast is striking. While Drake gets caught in scandal after scandal, legends like Jay-Z and Nas are out here securing partnerships built on legacy, culture, and integrity. Jay-Z's business moves uplift entire communities. Nas invests in startups, technology, and storytelling. Meanwhile, Drake is being accused of pushing gambling addictions and suing artists who outperform him. It's not just about who's richer or more famous. It's about who represents the soul of hip-hop. Drake might have the numbers, but Jay-Z and Nas have the respect, and that's something no lawsuit can buy. Behind all the headlines, there's something even darker happening. Drake's public image is collapsing, and with it, his sense of identity. For years, he built his empire around control. Control of his narrative, control of his image, control of his music. But now, everything's slipping away. He's fighting fans online, deleting posts, and trying to rewrite his own downfall in real time. The more he tries to appear unbothered, the more obvious his panic becomes. And that's the tragic irony. The same artist who once rapped about emotions and vulnerability now can't face the truth about his own collapse. At this point, the story of Drake isn't just about music anymore. It's about accountability. Because no matter how big a celebrity gets, the truth eventually catches up. Drake's lawsuits, scandals, and desperate attempts to stay relevant aren't just bad luck. They're the result of choices. Choices made from pride, greed, and ego. And maybe, in the end, that's the real legacy he'll leave behind. Not the hits, not the streams, but the warning of what happens when fame turns into obsession. So as Drake fights his battles in court, in the media, and within himself, one question remains. Is this the end of an era, or just the beginning of the consequences? If you made it this far, drop a comment below and tell me. Do you think Drake can bounce back, or is this truly the fall of a modern rap icon? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications, because this story is far from over. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay active.